Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, welcome back to MotoGP 18 as Mario had his big breakthrough in Austria last time out. Can he back it up around the very fast Silverstone circuit in Great Britain? So here goes Mario then for his qualifying lap as he head towards Copse. We go through this fantastic start to the lap. I mean, the new section with Aberdeen Farm, that's a pretty good beginning for the F1 and most races around here, but that start with Copse can't be beaten, especially as it leads into Maggots and Beckett's, and then on to the Hanger Straight and Slipstream City. This will be a very good place to pass in the race, as with under 10 minutes to go, Sasaki once again at the top with 2:13.3. We know that's probably only good enough for the sit throw, maybe top 20. So McDonald's got to be right on that with the Avintia, but this bike doesn't have the straight line speed. Might have the cornering speed though. We will see around this very bumpy circuit. That's something what the F1 drivers have been talking about. Now the track's been resurfaced for the bikes, but it's still bumpy as heck. So it's going to be a massive challenge. The motorcycle riders as Dale Binder's down. South Africa not having a good time this season on the KTM. As they go through Aberdeen Farm. And then into the loop, the new section with Village. Then the actual loop corner. Or should I say new complex. And you go through Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. McDonald, he's around a second back. So he takes it back in that third sector. That's something to remember for the race. That third sector is not too bad. As we go into Brooklyn's down the second. Oh, trying to use that curb in to McDonald, but it's not coming to him. And in through the uphill, just have to be so patient on the throttle. Use sort of that exit curb. And then through Woodcote, easy for that on the Moto3 bikes. And across the line for 2:15.8. That's a terrible lap time, McDonald. Crowd seem happy about it, but I imagine McDonald will be. With less than 5 minutes remaining, Sasaki's still at the top of a 2:13.3. That time might actually be very decent. We get all the way down to second through Maggots and Beckett's once again. Just like previous editions, I don't know why there's so much elevation change in the middle of it. Let's look at that first sector, up by 2/10 for McDonald. So on the second of 3 possible laps, remember in qualifying. This is a long circuit, the Moto3 bikes with all these long straights. Fast corners normally. And the car, but on a bike a bit different. It's a bit wide inside, I don't want to be doing that in the race. Leaving that door so wide open, you could fit probably the whole field on the inside there. As you go through Vale. And then Club. There's Nuruddin 2:13.3. Oh, here come the lap times. Martin 2:12.3. And McDonald 1.4 down. But still, he's approaching 2:13 at the moment. Which would be very good for McDonald. That'd be midfield at least. Which, considering this bike's strength isn't straight line speed, wouldn't be bad at all. Then I've got a good chance for some solid points. 2:12.1 from Canet though. He's besting Martin. That fast that could be a 2:11. So now McDonald around the 2:14 mark. And that was meant to be his good sector, that third sector. See into the final sector. You guys get all the way down to first gear. All these corners. Using all of that curb. Unfortunately, it just sets the exit. Can't have to delay a bit being on the power. Here he goes for the final couple corners. A 2:14.9. This is not going to be his race, is it? Maybe the first sector will be decent, but apart from that, All the other 3 sectors are just not McDonald's, but then we're being Slipstream City, so hopefully that'll help out the straight line speed, or the lack of it. They go through Maggots and Beckett, still don't understand that elevation change when it's pretty damn flat. Or at least it looks like it's pretty damn flat. But still a PB for McDonald on his final lap, remember. There's not much time to do one more, it looks like, with the time remaining, just over 2 minutes left on the clock. To go through Star, having to use a bit of that rear brake to get that rear end round. If it just about works. And again, using that rear brake to get through Vale. And accelerate. Short shift if you have to the B flat. And 1.1 down off Martin now. He's grabbed that pole from Connect just. There's all a bit wide for Abbey. Then flat out through Farm. Then into Village. Carrying so much speed there, McDonald into the corner. And once again having to use a bit of that rear brake into the loop. Not as synchronised as it should be, but you can see just a couple tenths lost. The Martin on 1.4 back. This would be a mid 13. We'll take that. Well, we're going into the final sector where he seems to be losing loads of times through Brooklands. And in through Luffield. Trying to get on the power as early as he dares. Got him midway through the corner. Where it works out as he crosses the line. It's a 2:14.3. So it's Martin on pole by just 0.06 of a second ahead of Canet, with Bastianini completing the front row ahead of Antonelli, Delaporte and Bezzecchi in all Italian second row. Then Suzuki, Lopez and Ottel in ninth. Good qualifying from the German ahead of Sasaki, rounds out the top 10 with a virtually identical lap time to what he set before McDonald went out for his runs. Then we've got Mino and Cornfeld on the 4th row. Then Nuerdin ahead of home favourite McPhee and Tuba on the 5th row. 6th row, Rodrigo, Foggia and Arbadino. Then Berger in the top 20 alongside Yachenko. Not bad from the Kazakhstan rider. Then Dijan Antonio down in 21st. When you look at his teammate, 1.7 seconds faster than the Italian. Really got it all to do in the race. Ahead of Masaki though, who's ahead of Binder and Arenas on the 8th row. And the 9th row, Ramirez, Loy and Messia. And there's McDonald just in last, just 3 tenths behind his teammate in 29th, alongside the Thai rider on the back row of death. But let's see how it goes in the race.
The riders are on the Silverstone starting grid and are ready to face one of the most demanding Grand Prix of the whole year.
So here's McDonald revving up at the back as we prepare to get underway. A very wet Silverstone is a total opposite of what we had in qualifying as we go towards the first corner. And all the riders bunch up when McDonald goes to the outside line and just makes like 10 places up as he head into Maggots. Oh, he's got a superb run here. And the VR46 bikes. Down the inside of Berger, is he? Up into 18 plus Foggia as well. McDonald could be in the points heading into Stowe. Has got Mino ahead of McPhee. McPhee should be very good in these conditions. And again, a very experienced Moto 3 rider as well. McDonald is into the points in 13th. What the hell? As he sneaks by, maybe into the top 10. Not quite, but up into 11th. As he's getting battled with by a couple of riders. Oh, I had to lift majorly there as he bounced for the top 10 with Bezzecchi. And he had Otto behind him. Oh, McDonald into 10th as he passed Mino, not quite. Here comes Bezzecchi back. McDonald flat out through Farm. As he gets past Mino down the inside McPhee into the loop. Oh, the skies are nothing. The San Marino rider's now made up 21 places on the first lap. Absolutely ridiculous. And he's got Lopez in front. And this is on a bike with no real setup. It was predicted to be sunny most of the time. So the team didn't have a setup. They're just going off what Lloyd's told them previously. What happened to it? It was basically just a default setup. And the bike just rolls off the track when they arrive here. That is what McDonald is riding. So a brilliant 8th place at the moment. They got mad right up there. Ryan Lopez. Ahead of McPhee. Oh! Hit the barrier though. Going into Stowe. And that is a poor run heading towards Maggots and Beckett's. But he goes through Maggots. Oh, very confident. Into Beckett's. And then through Chapel. We got normal Chapel, thank God, compared to previous editions. Which leads onto a much better run now onto the Hangar Straight. And then see McDonald just out the slipstream of the leading group. There's Binder's ahead of Tuba behind. McDonald pretty good at breaking into Stodos. Look at Rodrigo and DJ Antonio. A couple of those you expect to be battling for decent points. Battling for 23rd or 22nd with Ramirez now. McDonald goes through. Fail, then Club, slight lift. Look at that, 4 tenths behind Lopez. A second ahead of Mino. He loves that tight section where this bike does come alive. And then flat out through Farmer. He's setting up the move into Village. Down the inside of Lopez for 7th. Got pushed wide by the Spaniard. Next to the inside in the loop. Oh, very aggressive from McDonald. Hangs on just. And now he's behind Antonelli and got some slipstream onto the Weddington Straight. This is the total opposite of his wet experience in Assen. As he go through the left-hander, of course back in Assen he was riding the dry setup. Seems to be the total opposite scene you want in these conditions. It's just with this default setup he's riding brilliantly. And now marching towards the top 5 as Martin does an 18.9. Now with a 20.1, just over a second off the pace. Much better compared to even qualifying in the dry. Oh, these wet weather conditions are a blessing in disguise. As he leaves Cops behind. Head towards Maggots and Beckett slightly back. The trio in front. It makes up so much time in Maggots. Got to remember not to compromise yourself for Beckett's though. Have a good smooth run onto the Hangar Straight through Chapel. As we're around halfway through this race. This is not a bad follow up to victory. Scored very solid points in 7th. As we go into Stowe. Tyre wear not an issue at all as you can see in these wet conditions. Don't need to bother looking in the bottom right. We go into Vale. Actually gets it properly slowed down for once into Vale. Then, oh, does he gain too much speed? Leading into Club though. Kind of compromised his exit there, but still the gap similar to Antonelli. He's got a 6/10 gap behind to Lopez. So he's looking decent heading into Abbey. And then flat out through Farm. So brave is McDonald here. Well, he's not close enough to make the move into Village. But he's not far off the back of quite a few Italians in front. So he's using all of the exit curb. He's all goes a bit wide. But still it's on the green stuff. Let's look at this half a second behind Antonelli. It's got Lloyd battling for 28. 20 places behind his teammate, and he started, what, 4 places in front? 3. Disappointing once again from the Belgian as well. McDonald dives down the inside for 6th. Doesn't quite work out. Might have cost him as well in this first sector for the next lap onto the penultimate lap of the race. We've got Martin, Bastianini, Canet. They pulled away from Suzuki leading this group. Great job from the Japanese rider. But all very aggressive from the power out of Cops, but holds on. As he go towards Maggots and Beckett's again. There's at least 4th place possible this race. Midori can just get it together. Was maining just under 2 laps. But Lopez is gaining on his Estrella Galitza machine. That Honda power should be coming to the 4 on this hanger straight. But McDonald, as you can see, he's dropped back out of that slipstream in front. That was perhaps a major key to its success on those first couple of laps as well. Having all of that slipstream in front could just suck his bike forward. So now he's having to do it the old-fashioned way, gaining the speed through the corners. And that's much smoother out of Vale into Club. And oh, it's still a similar gap to Antonelli, 8/10 head of Lopez, so doesn't have to watch out behind. Heading into this 3rd sector. They're hard on the power through farm. It's amazing he gets the bike slowed down for Village. Going so much speed. You can definitely see this 3rd sector is his best. Somehow stays upright for Aintree. Oh, having to run wide this time. As all, he gets a warning, can't do that on the final lap. He's still got a superb run on Antonelli, heading towards Brooklands. Can he finally make the move on the Italian? Not quite. Maybe into Luffield. Doesn't have a nook this time, just slots in behind. As you've got Della Porta behind Suzuki, who's head onto the final lap with Martin leading. Head of Bastianini, Canet, over 2:19.6, one of his best laps of the race. Not the time to produce it. And to go out of Cops, a bit cautious into there, but he's got a decent exit. Now heading into Maggots. Make sure you don't carry too much speed so you compromise yourself for Beckett's. All about the flow with this section. And then through Chapel onto the back straight, 7/10 behind, but it comes to 2nd, as you can see, very quickly without the slipstream. But luckily he's not got Lopez behind. He's not pulling him along at a rapid rate. Just go into Stowe, get on the power as early as you can without going sideways. That's why that short shift up to 3rd. And hard on the brakes. Into Vale. And onto the power as quickly as you can through Club, slightly wide. Bike going sideways just when he didn't need it. This is his best run on the final lap of the race. Let's hope he's not messed it up. As he goes through farm, still flat out. Into Village, not quite an Antonelli. Maybe into the loop. Oh, the Italian lives for another day. Just though. To go through Aintree. Look at this run for McDonald. He's finally in that toe. He can finally grab sit. Braking for Brooklands. Finally gets past Antonelli. Can he get a top 5 though? Past Della Porta. Oh, hitting too much curb. Just blocks the inside from Antonelli. as Martin wins. Ahead of Bastianini and Canet quite comfortably in the end. Another 2:19.6 on the final lap from McDonald. That's not a decent result in the wet. I should say it's not a bad result in the wet. That is pretty decent. And good reward as well for his first decent weather ride on the Moto3 bike. So Martin quite dominant in the wet in the end, 3 seconds ahead of Bastianini. Superb result from the Italian, ahead of Canet by a few tenths. And what a superb result for Suzuki as well. 4 tenths ahead of Della Porta. Nico McDonald is fast lap right there with his second group. Not quite for the podium, but still from the back. The finishing 6th. But take that every race with Antonelli in 7th, just losing out in the end to the San Marino rider, with Lopez in 8th, Magello in 9th, ahead of McPhee, or Mino should I say. Then we've got Bezzecchi out the top 10, ahead of Otel, Kornfeld, Sasaki, and Nuerdin grabs the final point ahead of Tubo. Rodrigo in 17th in the end. Did pretty well after battling for 23rd around halfway mark. Ahead of Arbolino, then we've got Foggia, then Dechenko, Berger, Ramirez, Binder, and there is Dijan Antonio down in 24th in the end, just mired in the midfield, actually quite near the back as well, 20 seconds off his teammate. That is not going to impress the bosses. Well, for Loy in 25th. He's not impressing any bosses either, with Mays in 26th, the Thai rider Mazaki and Arenas in last. As we look at the Riders' Championship, Martin 29 points ahead of Canet. Bastianini in a comfortable 3rd now, 14 points ahead of Della Porta. Dean Gian Antonio just a single point ahead of Bezzecchi. McDonald in 7th with 89 points, 11 off Bezzecchi, and a single point ahead of Antonelli. As you've got Lopez in 9th, then you've got Mino, Suzuki ahead of Otel, and then Sasaki, Rodrigo, Tuba, Nuerdin, Kornfeld, McPhee up 4 places to 18th with a good performance on home turf. Ahead of Ramirez, Arbolino, Foggia, Mesa, then we've got Loy, Binder, the Thai rider, Mazaki, is still just Berger, Arenas, and Yurchenko yet to score. And look at all his reputation earned. Well, he's over halfway now towards being the first rider in the team, which, considering how he's performing compared to Loy, I'm surprised I don't just give it to him anyway, as there's the breakdown. So Dovi wins as well for the Ducati, ahead of Marquez and Vinales in MotoGP, while in Moto2 it's Baldassarre ahead of Bagnaia and Marquez. Bastianini couldn't quite make it Italian triple, with Martin beating him out, but still a very solid performance for the beast ahead of Canet. So for McDonald, it's not quite a podium or a win, but still, from the back, in the wet as well, his first decent wet race, to get a top 10, we'll take that every race. And as we head into the final 3rd of the season, well, almost the final 3rd, we're heading to San Marino, his home race, the race where he did so well in the Red Bulls Rookie Cup. Can he repeat that performance in Moto3? South watching and find out next time.